Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on my video to watch. So for today's video, I'm going to be trying out and reviewing two new products. So I'm going to try out the Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer and this new Huda Beauty Loose Powder. I'm always excited when new makeup comes out, but these two new products I had to have, so I got them. FedEx just delivered them. I ordered them off of Sephora, so I'm gonna try them out for the first time, do a little first impressions and a review on them. So I have my base on. I have my primer and foundation and eyebrows. I also have some cream contour on, so everything I use that I didn't mention in the video, I will list down below. But the first one I'm going to try out is the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. I am wearing the Born This Way foundation because I thought that would be the best bet with this concealer. I got the shade Vanilla. I just picked off of the Sephora website. I didn't want it to be too light, but I wanted it a little bit lighter than my skin tone so I can highlight with it. So I'm hoping this shade will work out. This concealer is huge, by the way. It's got a huge dofa applicator and it's a little bit slanted to the side, which I really like because I feel like that will get your inner corners really, really well. So this product holds 0.50 fluid ounces, so half an ounce. This thing is almost 1 full ounce. I'm not sure. I'm going to compare it to their other one. Okay, I have the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Radiant Concealer, and this one holds 0.23 fluid ounces. So this one is basically 2 times the size, and it's only $1 more than this one. So this one retails for $28. This one retails for $29. So if I end up loving this one, this is going to be my go-to, definitely. Maybe this one's more on the dewy side, but we will go ahead and see. I'm going to apply it underneath my eyes and everywhere else to highlight the center of my face. Okay, first off, it feels very smooth. It is gliding so easily, and I'm really afraid to put lots of this on, even though I usually do put lots of concealer on, but I feel like it's going to be very full coverage. Honestly, I'm loving how this is applying. And I feel like I picked a pretty good shade. I think I'm going to stick to that for my under eyes. I'm also going to drag it up to conceal my eyelids. I didn't even dip this back into the tube yet, and the concealer is still going. Alright, that applied so easily. This applicator I love. I'm already obsessed with it. The slant is just perfect for applying. But I have a very strong feeling this is going to be full coverage. So I'm trying not to use such a heavy hand, but it doesn't feel thick either, which is such a good thing because no one likes a thick, cakey concealer. All right, I think that's all I'm going to put on for now. I'm going to try blending it out both with a brush and with a sponge. So I'm just going to spray my sponge with some Fix Plus because I'm too lazy to go and wet it. And I'm going to go ahead and start blending this out. Wow. That blends out really easy. That literally took no time, and this sponge isn't even like all the way damp. Honestly, Too Faced never lets me down. They are so good with their products. This is literally, okay, my lighting's really off. This is literally blending out so easily. And it's not taking my foundation off with it. Sometimes when I blend out my concealer, when I pick up my sponge, the foundation will come off with it, but it's not doing that. And you can definitely use way less than I just used because it goes a very long way. My skin is pretty dry on my forehead, by the way, so it's not looking good on top of my dry patches. Not that it would, but... All right, that literally blends out so easily. Let's try under the eyes. Drag it onto my eyelids. Wow, this is definitely a full coverage concealer. I think I picked a pretty good shade too. I really like it. Well, that just blends out in no time. Okay, I love this concealer. I can already tell it's gonna be one of my go-tos. Now I'm gonna just try really quickly to blend this one out with a brush. Not liking it with the brush at all. Doesn't blend out as easily with the brush, but then again, I'm not even sure if I'm using the proper brush for it. The brush just doesn't help it blend to its full potential like the sponge does. I feel like it took some of the concealer away. So I think I'm going to put a little bit more concealer on this eye and blend it out with a sponge, but I'll just zoom you in really quickly so you can see it. Okay, so here is the sponge side. It's probably already wow, it's not creasing that much actually. Not like my concealers usually do. And then this is the side with the brush. So it definitely took some of the concealer away, or just didn't help blend it out to reach its full potential. So I prefer this sponge a lot better with this concealer. I usually don't use a brush with concealer anyways, but I like it with a sponge better because it did give me the most full coverage. If you want to sheer this concealer out a little bit, you could use the brush with it, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit more underneath this eye right here. I lost some of it, and then right on my eyelid. I feel like this concealer is just gonna last you forever because it's so big, and a tiny bit just goes such a long way. So in love with this concealer. If you got this concealer in your skin tone shade, then you could cover up your pimples really easily with it, since it is such a full coverage. I usually like to get my concealers lighter than my skin tone so I can highlight with them. I think I'll keep you guys zoomed in here. I should have done that in the first place, but we'll move on to the powder now. So far I am impressed with the Too Faced concealer. All right, next, the Huda Beauty baking powder. This is called the Easy Bake Loose Powder, and I got the shade Pound Cake. I didn't really want to get a translucent shade because I think she does have one of those, but I just kind of wanted to get one with a little bit more color. So first of all, the packaging is so cute. Look at how this box just opens up. At first, I did open up the box, but I didn't open up the actual product. At first, I was so nervous because I thought that this powder actually was the powder in here and that it leaked everywhere, and I was so bummed out, but no. That's just the packaging. It's really, really cute. It says freshly baked on it. I don't think this particular powder was too much. I believe it was about $43, which isn't bad at all. I'll leave the correct price down below, or I'll just link the product down below because I'm not completely sure. It is a pretty big product. So this is the front of it, this is the side and what the powder looks like, and then this is the back, and it gives you some directions and instructions on how you can use the powder. So this holds 0.71 ounces. It's not a full fluid ounce, but it does look like a lot of powder in there. I wish it was at least 1 fluid ounce, but that's okay. So it's a twist off cap. I really like this packaging. I think it's so chic. So this is the top of it. It has one of those caps. I love how it's black. It makes it look way more chic. Tightly sealed. It smells like, I think it smells like roses. It smells really, really pretty. Oh, I just blew some of it. I'm so nervous. I like the smell of that. It smells like roses. Wow. Okay. So it has a sifter in it. I'm really nervous to tip this out. Yeah, so some of the powder is already at the top here. I'll just zoom you in so you can see it a little bit better. So here is the actual product. I'm not an expert on powders at all because I only ever use my RC Amino color powder. I want to try and use more powders just so I can get more used to using different types of powders, but I really like the smell. I usually don't like the smell of roses. I only like the smell of fresh roses, and this kind of smells like fresh roses, not like that fake scent. Okay, so I'm just going to touch it and see how it feels. It feels extremely smooth and extremely finely milled. Okay, I'm excited to use this. I'm really, really excited. I always want to purchase more Huda Beauty products, but they're just so pricey, and I know that everybody loves them and just thinks they're so good and worth the price, but I never really splurge, but I did on this powder. I couldn't not. Okay, enough talking. I'm going to blend out this concealer a little bit more because it creased up a little bit while I was talking, but not that bad. And it's sitting so nicely on my skin. I don't feel it at all. It's extremely lightweight, even though it is a full coverage concealer. So I'm just going to press my sponge into this powder. Pick up some of the product. So that picks up very nicely. That's what it looks like. And I'm just going to directly press it underneath my eyes. Oh my gosh, this powder is so smooth. Okay, I'm loving it. So I'm going to bring it down onto my smile lines. Happy that I picked a powder with a little bit more color to it. I feel like it's just blending into my skin pretty nicely. This side I'm going to apply with a brush because she does sell a brush with the powder, but I did not want to buy the brush. So I'm going to place the powder on with a brush to this eye. I feel like I just like the sponge better for everything because this brush is making my powder fall everywhere and it's losing some of the product. So I'm going to try and find a denser brush. Okay, this Real Techniques one is the same concept, but it's denser. So I'm going to try this out. Okay, I do not like the brush. It's just making my product fly around everywhere. Why did I just pick up a brush after I just said I didn't like it? I feel like this is really like sinking into my skin rather than sitting on top of it, and I don't really know how I feel about that. I feel like I want it to sit on top of my skin so I can actually like bake my concealer. This should be fine, and it's sitting on top of it a little bit, and I don't know if it actually is sinking into my skin or if it's just the color of the powder. I'm gonna let this sit on for maybe 5 minutes. I usually don't like to bake for that long because I have dry skin. Even though this feels really smooth, it doesn't feel drying at all. It doesn't feel cakey. It's very, very finely milled. I think it's even more finely milled than my RC Amino color powder, if I'm thinking correctly. So far, I like both products. I'm gonna let this obviously sit on my skin for a little bit and I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards. And this packaging is literally to die for. Like, I'm in love with it. I want to display it. Okay, now it's time for me to wipe this baking away. Now I can actually use a brush for this part. Well, that blended away really nicely. Okay, the smell's not my favorite when there's a ton of it on my face, but I like smelling it in the actual container. My skin looks really smooth. I do have a lot of texture right now because I was picking at my face, and the only outcome of picking at your face is texture and pimples. So don't do that. Ooh. This is really smooth. These products go nicely together. Okay, so this is what the under eyes look like. I love it. It just feels so smooth. Like, I just don't know how to describe it. I feel like it gives it a little bit of a sheen. Not really a full-blown shine to your face, but it just leaves this really pretty sheen and smoothness to your skin. My forehead is just... we can't even talk about my forehead. It's so dry. That's why I didn't put any powder on it. But the fact that this full coverage concealer and powder is sitting with my dry skin nicely is actually really impressive, because usually it's a little bit worrisome if you have dry skin and you're putting a full coverage products on your face plus powder. It can tend to get really cakey, dry up, not sit on your dry patches nicely. But the fact that both of these products I'm really liking. I'm really happy that I took the plunge and got these because they're sitting on my skin really nicely and not emphasizing any of my dry patches besides my forehead. It's not too bad. Obviously the concealer did cling to my dry patches. I did put an oil on before just to try and diffuse it. It helped a little bit, but it's not making it look too bad. If you looked at it far away, you can't really notice my patchiness. If I were to do it again on my dry patches, I would put way less concealer on. I put quite a bit on my forehead, probably too much for my skin today. But my under eyes and the rest of my face, I am really liking it. I'm just gonna put on a little bit of bronzer. I'll use my Too Faced Sweethearts bronzer. And then I want to bake underneath my contour. I do have some cream contour on, so I want to clean it up a little bit. I also put on a little bit of highlight, so this is what my face is looking like right now. Now I'm going to put a little bit more of this powder on underneath my contour just so I can clean it up a little bit. So I'm just going to place it underneath my contour. I'm really happy with the shade I picked. Even though this powder does have a tint to it, it can alter the color of my concealer, which I think is also really important to add. Okay, I'm going to wipe it away now. Oh yeah, this powder makes your skin look really, really pretty. Even though I do have a lot of texture right now, I really, really like it. It just leaves this smooth effect to your face. I really hope my forehead dies down a little bit because it's annoying me, wrecking the rest of my smooth face. Okay, well, that is it for this video. I really just wanted to try out these two products on camera for you guys. I wanted to do a little first impressions and mini review on my initial thoughts on the products. I'll keep you guys updated on what I think about the products on Instagram because I'm most active on there, and I can guarantee that I'm going to be using these products a lot more. The concealer I really love. I didn't really expect anything less from Too Faced. I'm always really impressed with their products. So I said it was full coverage. Bottle actually says it's super coverage. So I bet you could even use this as a foundation if you really wanted to. I don't try out too many of Huda's products, but yeah, I am really happy that I did pick up the powder. I initially really liked the smell. As I put it on my face and it was just sitting there, it did become a little bit overpowering. So if you're sensitive to smells, this would not be the powder for you. I'm not sure if she has unscented kinds, and that would be really nice. So I'm happy that I got these products. You will be seeing them in action a lot more. I should see if this powder gives flashback. So I'm going to take a picture of myself. Ooh, no flashback. This is an awful picture. Don't screenshot this, but no flashback. But please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, like this video if you enjoyed it and you like reviews, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.